Hi, my name is Matthew. I'm the product manager for Citrix Analytics, and today I'm going to talk about how Citrix Analytics protects the Citrix Workspace using AI and machine learning. Now, Citrix Analytics does this in three ways. It provides contextual access, continuous monitoring of end user behavior for suspicious activity, and last but not the least, Citrix Analytics enables security professionals to investigate threat incidents. What you have behind me is the Security Analytics dashboard. And right at the top, you can see three colored tiles that show you how many high risk, medium risk, and low risk users that you have in your environment. And right next to that is a tile that tells you how many users have been placed in a watch list. Now, right under that is a list of all the risky users in your environment with a threat score and a link to their user profile. Now, all of this is made possible using telemetry data that flows from Citrix products to Citrix Analytics. Now, the way Citrix Analytics works is very simple. Every single Citrix product, all the cloud services and on-prem products have been instrumented to send telemetry data to Citrix Analytics. Now, Citrix Analytics takes in all this data, creates user profiles, and looks for anomalous behavior. So to get started with Citrix Analytics, it's very simple. It's a turnkey operation. All you need to do is go to Settings, click on Data Sources, and Citrix Analytics runs an API call, queries Citrix Cloud for all the Citrix Analytics compatible products and services that you own. They are discovered and displayed for you without you having to do any effort of deploying sensors and installing agents on your products. So once discovery is done, you need to go in and turn on data processing. Citrix Analytics does not process your data without your consent. So once you go in there, turn on data processing, Citrix Analytics gets ready to receive events from your environment. So now, every time your end users who are using a Citrix product do something, they launch an app, they share a file, they log into the network, an event gets sent to Citrix Analytics. So Citrix Analytics is not a pull service. It doesn't hoover up the data from your environment. It doesn't use logs, traces, crash dumps, or core dumps. Instead, all the Citrix products have been purpose instrumented to send data to Citrix Analytics, which is what makes our artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms extremely fast and accurate. So once you turn on data processing, and as I said earlier, it's a turnkey operation, takes less than 90 seconds to get started with analytics. You then go back to data sources, you then go back to security, and your users start getting discovered. Most of the machine learning algorithms take a couple of weeks to build a baseline. And once the baseline period is over, the machine learning algorithms continuously monitor the user behavior to look for anomalies. And every time an anomalous user is discovered, they show up right here. So now you can go and click on the user profile to look at this user behavior in more detail. So in this case, we have a user named Georgina. Her risk score is 99. And what we have on this screen on my left is a list of risk indicators. So here, this is a risk indicator that says that she's failed. There have been a bunch of authorization failures that have been discovered in her profile. We see a few unusual logon access attempts. We also see some potential data exfiltration. So you can now click on these alerts that are also called risk indicators to study them in more detail. So what Citrix Analytics is doing is it's analyzing all the raw data and sending you alerts that are relevant to you. So you are saved the effort of going through all the raw data and analyzing it yourself. So over here, you can see all the raw data, all the raw events. And if you want to do further threat investigation, you click on Event Search to look at all the raw events associated with her account. So that way, if you feel that she's been incorrectly filed, you can investigate all the raw events to make up your mind. Now, going back to her user profile, here are a couple of other things that I'd like to highlight to you. Now, Citrix Analytics is not just a turnkey service. It doesn't just show you alerts. it also enables you as an administrator to take action on that user. So in this case, for example, we've seen that Georgina has a fairly high risk score. You've done the investigation, you've found these alerts to be credible and accurate. So what you can do is go right to the top and create a policy. But in this case, instead of creating a policy, I'm going to take action on her user profile in real time. So in this case, I choose to start session recording, and I also choose to apply that particular action to her profile. So going forward, whatever she does in apps and desktops, whatever she does in her workspace will get recorded using the session recording feature. In addition to allowing you to take action on the user, we also provide you with a fairly detailed user profile using the data that's been collected from this user. So I'm going to go back to user info, and here's a user profile. It's a fairly simplistic user profile. It tells you what applications the user has used. It shows you what devices she's been using in the past 1 month. Shows you all the locations that she's been in. So over here, for example, I can click on map view and look at all the locations that she's been in. And then last but not the least, the profile also tells you the total amount of data that she's uploaded and downloaded. The last thing that I'd like to highlight is a feature called custom risk indicators. Now, all this while we were talking about how artificial intelligence and machine learning is used in analytics to protect the workspace. So the data comes in, you profile the user, the AI and machine learning algorithms look for anomalies, and alerts are created in the UI. In addition to that, we now allow you to create your own custom risk indicators. You can set your own conditions, you can set the severity of these risk indicators, and those risk indicators will show up in the user's profile. So in this case, for example, I'm going to create an indicator. So I go right to the top. I want to create an indicator that alerts me every time a user uses a particular application. All I need to do is pick the data source. In this case, all the application data comes from apps and desktops. So I'm going to select apps and desktops. I'm going to go here. I'm going to select app name. I'm going to give it a, I'm going to say equals. I'm going to give it an, I'm going to specify the name of the application. I'm going to specify a few options. So in this case, I want to be notified every time somebody uses an application. So I'm going to select every time. I'm going to specify the severity of the risk indicator. That's it. I'm good to go. So now you don't just have to use the risk indicators that are baked into the product. You can create your own. Now, last but not the least, you can also create policies to take action on the user. So what I showed you earlier are policies that you take manually when you're in a user profile. But over here, I can go create a policy to take action when a certain condition is met. So in this case, for example, I'm going to say every time I find a user doing excessive file uploads, I am going to put this user on a watch list. I click apply, I give the policy a name, I click on create policy, and I'm good to go. So as you can see, Citrix Analytics is extremely easy to use. It's a turnkey service, takes less than 90 seconds to get started. It gives you risk indicators, which essentially saves you the effort of going through all the raw data. And then last but not the least, it enables you as a security professional to take action on the user when you notice suspicious activity. So thank you and have a great day.